In today's game, we have a rematch of the NFC Championship game between two young competitive teams. It's Cam Newton going up against Carson Palmer. So with that, let's get right out to the stadium. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis have the call on this Week 4 matchup.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Arizona Cardinals. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Second down following the run. They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll run with Marshall. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On play action, it's Bridgewater. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Get ready! Bridgewater on first down. Flush to his right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Throwing, Bridgewater, and he fires one incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. 3rd down here. Let's look at this offense now, and let's talk about John Brown.
An exciting young talent from Pittsburgh State, home of the Gorillas. Hard to cover, great moves in short areas.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now following the interception, here's Newton. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And with this offense, one guy to key in on defensively is Kevin White.
Had to battle injuries at the start of his career, but boy, he's ready to fulfill his promise. An absolute beast downfield.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Patrick Peterson is almost an anomaly at cornerback. A big, thick, physical guy who can run with any receiver in the league.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. Newton now to throw. He's got time. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Marcus Golden able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage. And it'll be 4th down. Now the Bears' 6th-round pick in 2014, Pat O'Donnell on to punt. Back deep, Dre Archer. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down, Bridgewater. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? You're able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Caught right side, Gresham. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And here's Marshall. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
How many times do we hear from coaches, get north and south as a runner, especially in short yardage situations? I'd say 3rd and 1 counts. That didn't happen there.
Instead, they went backwards. And this one is right down Broadway. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
On 1st down, Newton. He's going to air one out. Looking for Austin, intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. interception. Here's Bridgewater. It's caught left side by John Brown. And he's brought down after a good game. That one goes for 24 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Bridgewater to throw it, and that is incomplete. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver, and it's second down. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
Eddie Goldman's everything you want in a defensive tackle, a run stuffer who can move upfield and rush the passer.
Bridgewater now from the 50. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the first quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the second one.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. To throw is Bridgewater. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, build their confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. To throw on second down is Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton surveying the field. He's going to take another shot here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Archer. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
action. It's Bridgewater. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third. Third and long for Bridgewater. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Vontae Davis. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And now the offense will look to respond after the sack. On second down, here's Newton. He's got time in the pocket. Over the middle, he hits Austin. These coaches told us they wanted to take the top off this defense. They wanted to be able to stretch them downfield. They showed it pretty well there.
And they knew that if they were able to do that, it would open up everything else. But how did they truly get it done? Practice in the previous week, making sure they had a plan, fine-tuned before they put it into effect in the game.
On first down, they run with Howard. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
They come out here in the eye. Now Newton. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. From the gun on third down. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Marcus Golden in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. This from 36 yards out. And Frank's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Cardinals offense here ready to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. Play action now. Bridgewater. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. And there the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
Well, what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, they'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll come out in the pistol. This is Marshall. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 2nd down, Bridgewater. Finding time toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it?
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense have felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Bridgewater. Now they go screen. It's complete. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all. They actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Laquan Treadwell, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead. Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And this one's right there, and that pushes the lead to 13-10. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
They go play action here on first down. He's got time. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 61 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On first and goal, Howard. And he'll get it down close to... Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Cam Newton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have once again taken the lead. So with second and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. Second down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Throwing, Bridgewater. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. A second down throw for Bridgewater. Surveying the field. Now he'll escape to his left. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 7, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package.
Yeah.
6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. Caught right side, Gresham. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now Marshall. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on 3rd.
Could play an exotic coverage.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Five yards left for the offense. It's second down. Here's Newton now on second down. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Robert Kindici. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on third down after that sack. Off play action. Newton. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now a play fake here on first down toward the sideline, and look at that catch, dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. It completes it right side to White. 15 yards through the air on a first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
On on second down. Here's Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. And it's third down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Here's Newton. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Marcus Golden. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is Archer. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down.
He's got it at the 15. And he takes this thing down deep into Chicago territory. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Keith Marshall, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And now Chicago getting ready to... go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
To throw on second down is Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. And the Cardinals, they trot out their dime package for third down. Newton now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they bring this one back. A scoop and score. A fumble recovery touchdown for Arizona. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Bridgewater will try and throw. And his pass is intercepted. Look at the big man rumble. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Now Newton on first down. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. They go counter with Howard. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. So a big sack on 2nd down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for 3rd. Play action. It's Newton. He's going to look deep down the field. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here. That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrell Freeman. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Give to Howard. And push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
This is Howard on second down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
And that gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up. Trying to punch it in with Howard. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here from the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Frank's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 12. And the Cards are going to have a first down.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football? They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Bridgewater now on second down. Caught by Nelson left side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
And being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Onto the field now come the Bears. Scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. 3rd and long, it's Newton. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is fielded at the 27. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead.
And now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Let's go.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. Being chased out left. And his throw is incomplete. Marcel Reese is fullback, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And that is incomplete. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Now Austin. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a first down throw for Newton. It's grabbed over the middle by White. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does.
That's caught inside the 20. They get 39 yards out of that one. And that leads to a Chicago first down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Defense showing blitz. On first down, it's Newton. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off the drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
20.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job one. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard and the time left on the clock, as you noted? So many things to go through.
So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie. Then the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They come up in an offset eye. Throwing here, Bridgewater. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 9, and all of a sudden here it's third down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down. One receiver right, that's Brown. Bridgewater to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
So times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Down to a knee goes Bridgewater, and that ought to do it.
The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Well, I know it points to this when you wanted to close your eyes.